A very good morning to one and all. Let us start this session. I, Vani D, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, with the pride and privilege, welcome you all to the webinar series WISE 2020. Today, we have with us dynamic and vibrant personality, Nagesh Puttaswamy, Zonal Head, South WT and RMDT, Ultratech Cement Limited, Bangalore, for the webinar series WISE 2020. We are happy with your kind gesture for accepting our invitation and making it possible to join us in this event. On behalf of entire SJAC family, hearty welcome to you. I wholeheartedly welcome our beloved HOD, Principal and Management to this event. I extend a warm welcome to Ms. Pranamya K, Assistant Professor and Convener of this webinar series. I welcome all my fellow faculty and staff members of SJAC to this session. With great pleasure and respect, I welcome all the participants present here who are the main pillars for the great success of this session. Thank you one and all. We are now on the verge of much awaited event to begin. Before we start, let us make a moment to introduce our resource person of the session. Nagesh Puttaswamy completed his engineering from University of Mysore in the year 1985. Earlier, Sir was working as a consultant, heading a sole proprietorship firm, Nagesh Consultants. He has about 33 years of experience in the field of consultancy for the reputed such as Karutari Networks, Floriculture Divisions, MRF Tires, BPCI. Currently, he is working as Zonal Head, White Topping and RMD South India for the Ultratech Cement Limited. So, nearly 13 years of experience in cement and concrete industry. He was awarded with ICI Karnataka Hubli Dharwad Center Ultratech Outstanding Concrete Structure Institutional Building Section for the year 2007-2008 for the structural consultants of St. Mary's Church, Navanagara, Bagalkot. He is an associate member of Institute of Engineers, life member of Indian Concrete Institute, life member Instruct, life member of Indian Road Congress, life member of Associations of Consulting Civil Engineers. He worked as secretary from year 2009 to 11 and as chairman from 2013 to 15 of ACC Bangalore Center. He is in charge of training and mentoring of personnel for the White Topping pilot project at Kharagpur, West Bengal, along with IIT Kharagpur. He is in charge of the QA/QC and technology transfer management of the white topping work happening in Bangalore city and other parts of Karnataka. He was also in charge of construction and quality assurance of the concrete white topping of the bitumen road technology demonstration project on Bangalore, Mysore in Karnataka, Chennai in Tamil Nadu and Hyderabad in Telangana. He involved in developing of concrete used in the monolithic buildings and also involved with the several Karnataka state government agencies for construction of these houses for economically weaker section and also with the Karnataka State Police Housing Corporation in construction of police quarters using this technology. He also played a vital role as a researcher of questions and in formulating interesting rounds along with the Grey Caps who conducted a quiz Ultratech Civil Engineering quiz for South India. He has published several papers in renowned national and international journals. He has also guided several dissertation works for the final year engineering and MTech students in the field of structures and concrete. He is popularly identified as Concrox in the quizzing circle and also in the student community. He has been a trainer in training of artisans, masons, engineers, and supervisors to impart the knowledge about the advances in the construction field. Recently, he trained 40 construction workers in Dubai for the California Construction Company. He was instrumental in formulating 1 week-long mason training program for enhancing the skills of the field workers to make them technically better workers. The training program is a success story for the Ultratech Cement Limited, with over 10,000 masons being trained in Karnataka as well as in Andhra Pradesh. His interest in wildlife photography. Macro photography is his passion. His interest lies in the collection of macro photos pertaining to the professional as well as in wildlife. It is very difficult to brief the different dynamics of Sir's personality in a matter of few minutes. Sir, please excuse us if we have missed any. It is our great pleasure to have you here, sir. We are eager to listen your sessions. Platform is yours, sir.
Thank you. Hope I am audible. Uh,
Yes, sir.
okay, we will start this session. Uh, I have named it in a very peculiar way, smart technology for smart construction. Actually, what I would be talking to you all about, especially when I talk in the academic forum where there is academia involved, as well as the uh, practitioners involved, I always talk about what the academia can do as a contribution towards the growing technology of construction. My entire presentation, especially the students and some of the faculty members who could be here, I would request them to please keep a jotting pen and a scribbling pad so that you can note down some topics. Many times what happens is, even though I rehearse my presentation full time, at least 2 times before every time that I go on stage, but sometimes things come off mind, and there would be 1 or 2 points that I would give, which could be a vital topic for your MTech or PhD or undergraduate dissertation work, so that the research work that you do in your institutes should not be restricted to be a book in the department library or college library. It should be something like practically implementable, and there should be people who would be looking at reading it and trying to implement a few of them. Well, whenever I say smart technology, for construction, there is always a big question mark for the people who would say that is it possible? Uh, and because this is a very peculiar condition, especially in the developing countries or the underdeveloped countries, because we are using a lot of materials which is very, very technically advanced at par with the world. But unfortunately, our construction practices have not been updated. Have not been updated means not in big projects, but in general. What is the minimum average level that is there? That is the reason, because when you are student, when a student gets out of the engineering college and goes, he sees 80% of Indian construction is individuals who are building a house, or individuals who would be building a small commercial place, 1 or 2 hospital buildings. Again, majority of them are small constructions, uh, and the bigger construction happens behind a closed door. You would have to go through a several security process to get inside and see what is the technology being adopted there. So these are the reasons there are some gaps that is involved. Well, the construction, this I would always say that I would add this to any of my presentation. Construction today is moving towards more and more mechanization. Mechanization is required for several reasons: lack of skilled labor, lack of labor, and the construction being scaled up in a vertical direction or too much long along the horizontal direction, where conventional manual method of transportation, manual method of working is no longer viable practically. So now, once the machines have come in, the materials have changed. Not only the materials that I told you in the beginning of my lecture, that yes, there are new materials that have come in, there are new applications of different chemistry, different technologies into construction that has come in. But these materials, which are conventionally used by the labor, the contractors, the uh, field level workers at site, are to be changed when a machine is to be used, because the materials should be handled by the machines. Um, so in general, when it comes to a construction these days, there are machines, there are new materials, there are new construction methodologies, There are materials which is asking the labor to work in a slightly different way or a totally different way. So management of all these things has become a big uh, what do you call, a big opening into the civil engineering fraternity. Well, things have changed over a period of time. That is for sure. We have to change. And uh, one thing that I would like to tell all the youngsters who are listening to this lecture today, please note, after the college, don't blame your institution, don't blame your teachers for what kind of job you are getting. You have to realize, you have to accept the fact that 95% of the civil engineers work is in the field. Not every student who passes out with a civil engineering degree can have a white collar job. You will have to see the field, and civil engineering is one technology that gives you demonstrations, that gives you illustrations, that gives you lifetime life size examples very easily without any experiment. You just on your way back home, instead of just chatting over your mobile phone, just look at the either side. A lot of construction going on. One day when you start early from home or start early from college, stand near that construction, you would get a lot of information that changes the way you look at your topic. Well, now let us come, what is the smartness involved? When I say smart, people, and in most of the cases, including the students, they always look at their hand, they look at their pocket and pull out their mobile phone. Smart is now totally linked to that what is called as smartphone. Is that the smartness that we are looking at? Yes, it is the smartness, because the mobile phone, which would have been a wired, heavy, black instrument, which most of the youngsters I know, you would not have even seen this except in the what you call the antique movies that you have seen. Nowhere else you can see the black phone anymore. And many of us who have got peppered hair on our head, we know we used to wait 8 years, 6 years to get a telephone connection at home. We used to book and wait for a telephone connection at home. And all these technologies suddenly changed. The phone came into our pocket, and the phone became no wired business. So, and gradually it moved into, is in many phones, I would see every application that I have on my laptop in the phone also. There might be some limitation. That is why it is called smart. But basically, what did it do? It started answering the requirement of the society, requirement of the person, in terms of communication, in terms of affordability, in terms of the requirement of the fast lifestyle that we have. I can sit in the airport, I can open my mobile phone, and I can just edit my presentation that I have to do after getting down the flight. So that is what it is. But this kind of application is required even in civil engineering also. All of you know there is something known as standards to be followed in construction industry. Uh, we do have BIS code, or the Bureau of Indian Standard Codes, and I would like to make a small note here before I forget. Earlier days, we had to purchase the BIS codes, that is the IS codes required by you. But these days, at least from past few months, no longer the IS codes has to be purchased. There is a little bit of discipline that we have to follow in our life. We should not distribute these things left, right, and center, but you can go register yourself in the Bureau of Indian Standards portal, and you can download nearly 95% of the codes that is available for construction industry. There are very few codes that would be charged these days, very, very few, countable number of codes that is charged. The other codes can be easily downloaded, and every code that you download will have a first page which will give you an instruction not to replicate or not to distribute this, and it will also have your name and email ID printed on it. It will have your name and ID printed on it, so you can download and try to use the most recent document that you are going to use. There are about 10,000 codes that are related to civil engineering. More than 1,000 are very important. When you look at a big project or a complex situation, you would find all these things interlinked. If I take out one code, it will say you refer to this code for these explanations. And then you go there, it will say it will refer back to this original code. For example, 456 IS code will refer to 383, will refer to 10262, and several other codes related to cement and other equipment general. So these kind of complex situation is there. Not everyone can know about it. But what can we do? What is this smartness happening in the construction industry? As far as the management is concerned, there are wonderful softwares that are available in the market. Some of them are quite expensive, but most of them are not absolutely necessary for 80% of the construction in India. 80% of them is 2, 3 individual houses being handled by one engineer. So there are softwares, but what we lack is a small time software that can be put into a mobile phone or put into a small, laptop, and the engineer concerned will always document the different stages of work. And that is something that civil engineers with a inclination for going in for only white collar job, you are smart in your programming skills, can put in. And there is a small tip for the teachers here. If you can work out on what is called as interdisciplinary project work, instead of doing the same old, if some college has done concrete with 10% of replacement of dash with dash, you just join hands with your computer science department, try to develop a small software to construct a small room in your college. After that, we can extrapolate this into a small building without any hesitation. But now, what did the institute do here? This is what I call smartness. I went out of convention for the benefit of the society in developing an app along with my colleague in the other department. The other department fellow will have a practical hands-on feeling about how the construction happens. So these two students can together form a startup coming out with several other things that is related to construction. That's what I say. Quantity surveying and billing, again, there are softwares and very excellent Excel sheets, that is Microsoft Excel sheet or a similar kind of software, whichever has got .xlx or .xls format, can be done. And there are people who have done wonderful work in this, no questions asked. Database, that is where a lot of work has to go in. We have to have students who can go through the various standards, interrelate standards. For example, if I take out 456, what is the equivalent code in Eurocode? What is the equivalent codes that I have to refer to in the ACI code? If somebody develops an app where at the pick of a button or the touch of the screen, I will get this information. This is where people who are inclined, civil engineers who are inclined to have white collar job, this is what I call modern or smart technology. You have to be smart. Technologies will not become smart unless you become smart. You have to say that I will answer a question by the society. Analysis, no question asked, right from Excel sheet to sophisticated finite element analysis, we have the problem. At design, there are wonderful softwares. Most of these design softwares are linked to the analysis softwares as a second module, and they are working out. But what we lack here is the detailing. I would say, and I would request all the students, please don't completely rely on the detailing given by a computer. Please look at common sense and then detail your structure. So these are the smartness that is required. What is the scope for development? As far as I cannot become, see, I told you only 5% of core civil engineering job is inside the office. 95% is in the field at various level. You might be a site engineer, you might be a manager at the site or the site head, or you might be an engineer who is in charge of 6 or 7 sites, but your work is basically on the site. But when it comes to office work, or where what normally the people tease as air-conditioned environment job, there are opportunities here. You can get into database application, I mean, developing applications or apps for database, Indian Standard Code, with a robust search engine. I'm referring to 456. What are the codes that I have to cross-refer to? I'm building a residential complex. What are the codes I have to refer to? These kind of things, which just, it need not do too much of work. It should just churn out the list of codes that I might have to refer to. Then simple estimation for menu-driven application. I do have several Excel sheets, but can it be gone into menu-driven? If I have the Excel sheet at the back end of my mobile or laptop, can I extract only the requirement? Suddenly I go to the site, the owner asks how much of wood that I have to purchase. Can I extract that only, instead of going through the Excel sheet, finding out where the windows are there and then trying to copy paste certain data and then say so much of wood you have to buy? Can you do that in an application which is menu driven? Then again, one more thing, there is a checklist, because I'm sorry to say this, even I had this problem in my early days of career. Civil engineers are generally very weak in communication skills. I don't know why, whether people who cannot express themselves will come to civil engineering, or civil engineers themselves are like that. Generally, I do not know. The question is, who built the cat? But yes, we are very poor in communication skills. So, and we are also poor in documentation, except for those few who go and join government jobs. There it is an obligation that you document. But here in the private section, where in the individual sections we do not. But if we can develop mobile applications for these checklists, QC management, where I have to send the, when I have to send the concrete, where I have to send the concrete, and all these things can be taken up. Application cross-referred, I told you, which would be beneficial for many practicing engineers, many designers, many people who float tenders, especially these days. International tenders, international bidding is quite common. So when you have an overseas bidder coming into your project, you will have to tell him this code is an equivalent of that Euro code or that ACI code. Then very important is, people are so addicted to mobile games. They are so addicted to the several things that that can be done on mobile. And what I have observed in being a man at 58 years of age, and I work with masons, I talk to senior most professors, I talk to IIT professors, I talk to very senior consultants and all these things. But still, I find that the general intellectual ability, not intellectual capacity, I am talking of ability to understand logically things, has improved because of these mobile games. They have understood that I have to look on all the sites to get, even in case of masons. That is where things go on. Yeah. Smarter thinking, new materials, and new products. Well, when you think about a product, please don't think beyond some of the conventional material that you have to be using it at least for next few decades. For example, I cannot so easily replace concrete, brick, mortar in construction. Can't I build a building without that? I can build, but how many of people will accept? I can build my own house out of my passion, but people outside may not accept it. Because I will tell you a story when I come to that stage, which I have personally experienced. So you have to look at the materials that are used, what is the purpose or application for which it is used, the manufacturing procedure of that material, either at site or at a manufacturing unit. How do you place that and how do you use that? These are changed. And kindly note that even the robust material called concrete has seen such changes in its life. So when it comes to material, we as civil engineers we do not have the liberty of other engineers. Like I have designed my electronic gadgets for a lifespan of 2 years. After that, anyway, people are going to throw away this and going to buy new one. I cannot say people will throw away my building in 2 years. No, but yes, such a thing has come. In earlier days, we used to say building is lifelong and beyond. My grandfather used to think of building a building that would last by my daughter or my son. That means 3 generations. But today, when I design a building, I have to look at, is my lifestyle similar to that of my daughter's lifestyle or my son's lifestyle? As soon as they grow and become confident enough, financially stable enough, they would say, Daddy's uh, way of life was different. This house will no longer fit into my lifestyle. So bring down the house and build it according to my lifestyle. So the lifespan of buildings that used to be 100 years plus now can be easily designed for about 60 years. That is the situation. So strength comes from here. How strong should my building be? Yes, how strong not only in terms of lifespan, how strong in terms of this thing. All these things that I have to look at and then say I am using a new material in construction. Well, concrete is one of the robust, time tested, but in this regard, we have to change our thought process. When I say that I have to change our thought process, it is a little bit different. There are new ways of concrete being defined. There is a list of that. If you go through the websites, there are several of them which is coming. I have listed out very few of them. High workability, low water cement ratio, which is totally against the fundamentals. The water content is directly proportional to the workability we get. Higher water content, higher workability. Low, so, but I have a demand that I want very high strength concrete. So invariably, I have to reduce the water content. It will reduce my workability and things like that. Then slump retention period. I want my concrete not to harden for 3 hours, 4 hours. Typical application that you can look out in the field is the RNC truck that would be going around. We call that technically transit mixers. The factory that produces concrete is somewhere, the work that consumes concrete is somewhere. In between is a machine which carries concrete from there to there, and the machine is working in favor of the properties of concrete, and there would be an influence of that machine. So the slump is lost. As the concrete is being rotated, heat develops, the slump, water evaporates, slump reduces. So I have to ensure that the concrete that I produce in my RMC lab, RMC plant should be giving enough slump at the site when it is being used, either in ground floor minus 20 feet, that is -2 basement level, or at the 7th or 10th floor of the building. So there are some things that are there, high early strength, early high strength, all these parameters are there. Maybe some other time, since webinars have become a standard, now you need not wait for an expert to come to your college and then deliver a lecture. We can, this is thanks to this pandemic, we have explored a new way of think. We can, the college can always arrange a lecture from the external expert in various aspects of this. So there are some new concretes. One thing that we all have learned about concrete is denser the concrete, better the concrete. Denser the concrete, stronger the concrete. Denser the concrete, durable the concrete. But today, the world is moving towards a much more complex way. When you go to the structural design part of a building or a structure, they say the dead weight of the structure is more than 65 to 70% of the total load coming on the foundation. So the simple logic says that you have to reduce the weight of your building. That means there are necessity of lightweight. Today we have reached a stage where 12 to 13 story buildings are being built with lightweight structural concrete. When I say lightweight, it is on the order of 1600 kgs. and normal concrete is 2,400 kgs. So these are the range that we are working in. And why to have solid walls? Why to have concrete brick masonry walls, which will be 1800 kgs per cubic meter? So this is a wonderful concrete that has become very popular. It is available on the placement of an order for most of you. This is called autoclaved aerated concrete. I am including this in a smart material because it has challenged many fundamental principles of concrete properties. The higher temperature, concrete is going to lose strength. Lower water cement ratio, you are going to lose thing. But this one is a concrete that is prepared by mixing of several materials like very small quantity of cement, fly ash, zinc, and because this is a concrete that is made to expand. When you go to conventional concrete, you say the concrete that will expand and contract will be unsound concrete. So these are concrete that can be made to a level for an extent it can float in water, but not permanently, but it can be made so light that it can float in water. It would have a microstructure like this, which full of holes or pores in it or bubbles in it, air bubbles in it. I told you these are the ingredients. We will have calcined lime, silica, fly ash, and expansive agents. And the wonderful part of this technology is it is not only made to bricks, but it can be molded just like your brick or just like the bread in the baker's oven. You put any dough into a particular mold, the mold, when it is the material dough that is cooked, will take the shape of the mold. Similarly, this lightweight concrete can be made into such bricks. The thing is not just only the brick, but what you look at here reminds you of your childhood days when you have played with Lido toys. Now, these blocks are interlocking blocks, and this have enabled people to make buildings without any mortar to join the blocks. You just assemble these blocks, and the hole that you see here, the hole that you see here is the hole where the reinforcement can go in and hold the different courses or layers of masonry together and also impart some rigidity to the structure. And the next thing, you all, I need not talk much about fiber reinforced concrete, but what I am talking about is, please look at this as not as fiber reinforced concrete. Once you use this word fiber reinforced concrete, you would tend to look at only the strength. This is the most unfortunate thing, that many students, many engineers, even after years of practice in the field, the moment I talk about any new concrete, they say, oh, sir, what is this strength, sir? No, concrete need not be only for strength. Concrete can come for different applications. So what you should look at is fibrous concrete system. There are fibers in the concrete. There is concrete in the system. So there are several things, but what I am going to talk to you about, what could be the future? What could be the future? This is where the institutions should start working at, and they should start looking at new things that can be adopted. This is glass fibers in concrete. Most of you have heard about translucent concrete or light permeable concrete. So what does this do? These are nothing but glass fibers or plastic fibers with optical properties, which would have a property of transmitting the light from one side to other. It does not mean that all the light that pass on the other side would come inside, but what is necessary will come. And please remember, I cannot make a building out of it. There are limitations for each technology. I have to adopt a construction methodology knowing the limits of my material. So where can this be applied? What you can see here, I hope this panel that I'm seeing and I have not been able to remove is not visible by the audience. What you see here is a glass fiber reinforced concrete panel. See, now most of the buildings that are air conditioned have a big problem. They will have minimal windows, and lot of money is being spent on illuminating these buildings, because glass windows not only take light inside, they also take heat inside. Now, how do I control temperature of the building? I have to increase the capacity of my AC. So now, instead of having a glass panel, can I have a window in that place which is made out of this translucent concrete, which would allow light to come inside? Because of the concrete available there, because of the thickness available there, majority of the heat is refrained from coming inside the building. You are getting a diffused light. Now, what is the research that has to be done here? How do I make this panel which will transmit diffused light towards inside? How do I make the panel? What is the size of the dam, or what are the other materials I can use? How can I make this technology up? Now, once you are up with this, I will tell you, there could be several entrepreneurs within your own institution who studied this. They can become, if they can afford to, they can become entrepreneurs and settle down in their in the near vicinity and start producing these window panels. So there will be no longer window shutters, there will be no longer window fixtures, there will be no longer window frame, all these blah 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 coming in. There is an opening that is left. This panel will go and sit during the finishing time, and once the building is finished, you have a light transmitting window which will not take heat inside. This is smartness. This is smartness that I am talking of. Well, the another system, this is very popular in, especially in the United States and the American continent. This is fabric concrete. Quickly, I will take you through this video. It would be like a ready-made building made out of fabric. It will be like your tent. Now, imagine the floods that are coming. Imagine the people who have been dislocated from their own houses. And unfortunately, in India, it is an age-old practice of taking a school building and putting them all there. The school building has got a limited number of toilets, which is good enough for the students. And many times I know many school buildings do not even have the number of toilets required by the students also. But now when you shift the families here, what is going to happen? So this kind of a technology where you can prepare and fix up a shelter as a hospital, as a house, as a community room, somewhere in a safe place within 24 hours. Imagine what it could be. This is a fire resistant technology. It might be slightly looking like a temporary structure, but yes, that is the ability of this building. This is a proven technology. Many of these buildings have been used as makeshift hospitals in the two desert wars that happened, that is the Gulf wars that happened. Well, and the other one is again a challenge that you all say. Basic concrete technology says that don't use any material that is mixed with mud to make concrete. What if I say I will make concrete out of mud only? But immediately don't ask me, sir, is it durable? Where I am going to use this comes. So this is in general called controlled low strength material, or CLSM. This is an area that Indian engineers should work a lot, both as research and as well as application. You have, especially in cities like Mangalore, or especially the areas that are being newly developed, you have gradually people moving in. There is a road made, and one new house coming up, they dig across the road for either water supply or connecting their sanitary line, and they heap the soil and close it, and over a period of time that trench will become a semi-circular ditch. Whenever you are going in a two-wheeler, you will have a thud. How to control this? Because This is a natural phenomenon that cannot be overtaken by one single process. That is, the soil can be consolidated and the soil can be compacted. The compaction can happen by manual intervention. The consolidation will have to happen gradually with the usage of the particular soil. So what happens? This consolidation is what is reducing the volume of soil inside the trench. So as the reduction appear, now what if I can give you a material which is not exactly this concrete that you use at your house, but it matches more with your soil and it will not shrink. That is all about this. And this is what it is. This is a big business in United States. The trench is dug. The concrete manufacturer will take that, buy this soil, and he would have soil at his place. See, this concrete is made out of soil. It has got cement, very small quantity of cement. It has got fly ash. It has got admixtures which impart the flowability. And once you place it within about 4 to 5 hours, the concrete becomes hard enough for people to walk on it. And in about 2 days, it achieves the required strength, which is equal to the CBR value or the SBC value of that particular locality or the adjacent virgin material. Now, it is easy to place your road. The road will never have the reoccurrence of the trench. Now, another smartness will have to come in this technology from here onwards. It will be fun. So when I say house or home, this is what most of you remember. All of us, each and every one of us have made these drawings when we were in our kindergarten. So, but remember, in most of the societies or the countries which have got an ancient history or historically culture has been embedded with all the human society. So housing, house and home are three different identities. Don't think that they are one and the same. As long as it is being built, it is a construction site, it is called housing. And a house is a secured place where I go at the end of my day's work and I feel comfortable, I feel secured. I may not feel comfortable, I feel secure. It is like I am living in a rented house in a city because of the financial constraints, because of the distance between my workplace and my home. I have adopted to a house that is available on rent in that area. But when it comes to home, this is the place I will be eager to get back after my work or after my school, and I love to live there. This is what is a very difficult upward journey, and we should appreciate that housing, especially in the countries which have got a rigid cultural base, is not just budget, is not just planning, it is a socio-economic cultural amalgamation of work by a consultant. Until you use the culture, you may not. There would be several people who would come to you and say, I need a puja house because I should have a bhajan in my house. There would be a person who would say that I would get a lot of my official friends, so I would need a private area. Because of the socio-cultural issues, there would be several complicated things, so it is an uphill stalk. So, but how do I taking up? So the first thing is you will have to look out for what is called as mass housing. No longer India or any developing countries can afford to have totally new and different plans. People in most of the Western countries are improving only because of this. One such technology is monolithic construction. Here, the walls, the roof, everything, including your electrical wiring, including your plumbing lines are done once for all. Only the foundation is according to the site condition. This is how the reinforcement is placed. I will show you the detailed diagram. Then the formwork is placed, the roofing is done, the concrete is pushed. Don't think this is a technology that I'm talking of is very high-end technology from Western world. No, this was in fact the technology involved in very high-rise building, and popularly on technically this tends towards becoming a shear wall construction. But what we did is from Ultratech and government of Karnataka about 8 years ago, when things were very bad, in the similar situation as this year and last year in 2012 or so, there was huge floods, villages were washed out. Then we had to bring down, we did develop the technology, or we did adopt the technology to construct houses for poor, which is being freely distributed by government. And believe it or not, this modern technology of houses, we delivered to them at the same cost. In those days, it was marginally about 7% higher. Today, we have got enough equipment, so we can deliver it at the same cost as conventional construction. And the best part of it is, after the foundation, I can deliver the house in 7 days. I'm not joking. 7 days. We have built more than 7,000 houses in this cycle, not one or two, and for the economically weaker section. 7 days. This Monday, after foundation work is over, this Monday I start my wall work, and next Monday housewarming. This is the technology that I am talking of. Is it not smart? Is construction not smart as your mobile phone now? What I would request you to see is here. You can see the switch box is placed much earlier. Now the smartness is here. How do you ask the electrician to come and work right in the beginning? None of us can even imagine asking an electrician or a plumber to come to work before the plastering has started. So that is how the whole thing goes on. These are aluminum sheets because they have to be handled in large sizes. The aluminum is the most relevant material, that is lighter and durable. Aluminum shuttering is used. About 150 walls are done. And what I would request you to see here is this, including the sunshades or the so-called chajas are done in single shot concreting. That's how it happens. The concrete is poured in single shot, and once the next day morning, the concrete is designed in such a way that within about 18 to 24 hours, you can remove the formwork except the slab. The slabs can be removed after 36 hours. The walls are removed, and you would get houses like this. And what you see here is the demonstration house that we did long time ago for the government of Karnataka to prove that the things can be done in 7 days. And when you do that, there are, and very recently, the best example for this was the rehabilitation houses for landslide victims in Mysore. About 800 houses were planned, and we have already handed over 600 houses by using this monolithic construction methodologies. If you just go through the newspapers of past 1 month, I think June 10th, there was this big ceremony within the pandemic, within the conditions of the pandemic condition. The local member of parliament and the revenue minister of Karnataka handed over the building. What you see here is the building that we handed over to the victims of landslide. And what you see here are the quarters for the police housing corporation that is being adopted. Then the other thing that all of you as students and as researchers should start teaching about, we teach quite a bit of precast and pre-stress. Precast is not much, but pre-stress is what we are telling. But the applications of precast we are just listing out. But why not bring in the concept of making them understand either by an external course? You give them a certificate of participation, start a course where practical case studies of precast construction is presented, and they know what is the fun of understanding precast and pre-stress. These are buildings that are built out of right here in India. I'm not showing the pictures from outside the country. All these are from India only. These are panels that are precast as if it is a factory and it is being assembled. There are some things that we have to note here, that once you go to precast and pre-stress, there is a provision for reducing the weight of your building, still maintain the dimensions of the building same for dimensional stability. One such example is the core slab, that is, which will have ducts inside the slab. Overall dimension is big so that the rigidity is there, but the weight is less. And these things can be like a production line. The sheets can be assembled, and this is how it happens. What you can see here is excavation. A foundation is designed, and then what you see here, the walls are being done, and this is how the walls are being placed using a crane. This is the foundation, and things can go up and down. That is there. These are slabs being placed, and this is finished house. These are houses for Police Housing Corporation that has been built quite some time ago. The challenge in this type of construction is quality, speed, and economics. Until quality control is maintained, no work can happen. And the next thing, speed. When you talk of technology, it is very hard for people to accept, especially in construction industry. Even if you say that you stop using river sand, go for crushed rock sand, people are reluctant to use. And crushed rock sand I have been using in my projects from 2009 onwards, 2008 onwards, but still people don't accept. Even engineers don't accept. Oh, why? I don't want to take the risk. So that is how it is. Until you bring in the speed and the cost, it is what it is there. Once it comes to speed and mechanization, is understanding the logic of what you call the concept of the curing and strength gaining system. This is what it is. Now, how do I estimate the strength of a building without crushing the cube? When I want to crush the cube, there are several codes which says when I can test the cube. Unfortunately, whether the code accepts it or not, I am testing the cube at 24 hours, because 1 day strength of concrete is a big parameter these days. 1 day strength of concrete is a big parameter of these days, requirement of these days, and there are reasons behind it. So how do I get it? Can I go on testing the concrete for every floor? No. So for which we have got wireless maturity meter system. There are these days there are very popular things, including no gadgets in between. All you need is a few sensors are placed within the concrete, and then there will be a person who will be walking around with his mobile phone, and things are like that. I will show you a sample of what I have, if it is visible through the laptop camera. These are meters. There is several sensors that are placed. What you have here is the sensors that are fitted onto the formwork. What you can see here, the yellow thing that you are seeing here is the sensor that is placed. And this would record the temperature of concrete, the exothermic reaction of concrete, and thus it will tell you what is the system, what is the strength that is gained. For this, it is not very easy. You should have to fill up a lot of data of making similar concrete, at what temperature, what strength has been gained. That database is fed into the system, and that system will extrapolate the results. Just like how do you use nomograms for design? There is a graph, you know the load, you draw a line, for a parallel line to the axis. In that, you touch the graph line and draw a perpendicular to know what you want to do. So that is how these things work. So what does it do? There would be a sensor here. Right now, what I have shown here is an external sensor, and these days technology has improved that we will use a sacrificial sensor which will be sitting inside the concrete and would give results up to 1.5 years of concreting. The people might be living there. I know how matured my concrete is right on my mobile. So these sensors will give the so-called results to the base node, which could be either wired or wireless. Normally these days we are not going to wire. We do have people walking around with Bluetooth. They will all be made as sensor, data collectors, and the Bluetooth will interact with the sensor, take the data, give it to the computer at site, and then from at site it goes to all the people required from via the software. That's how it can be done. You want to send reports regularly to email, that's how. But where is the problem in implementing these new technologies to the people? Where? And the problem is here. The concrete was then like this, but unfortunately 80% of the construction still use this technology, whereas the world and many big projects within India also are using concrete like this. And please note, this is also concrete, this is also concrete, and these are not conventional lath and plaster flower pots that you find in roadside. These are concretes that are modern. Modern concrete is this. That's my pair of hands. What is being rolled there is concrete. It's a specialized concrete, very, very special. It flows slowly. Wait for a minute. I'm going to break it. It falls apart as if it is a dry mass of dough. And this concrete is used to make things like this. This is a small laboratory, not even a laboratory, it is a small industrial shed, 30 feet by 65 feet or 40 feet by 80 feet industrial shed in a very small locality in Bangalore, where these things are manufactured. These things are manufactured. These are concrete countertops, concrete wash basins that are there. And thanks to this, even though I am involved with this, these are the private property of Noun Studio, Bangalore. They do all of this work, and this is one example, and I am the proud owner of this. This is a concrete hand wash that is there. And as you go, very important thing, you need to look at quality. Quality, how? It is not just the test certificate given once. If I buy a material, especially the materials that undergo a chemical process within the site or within the material that you're going to manufacture or you're going to prepare at site, it should have a consistent quality. I cannot have one quality of material in the month of Jan, suddenly say, sir, there is a small variation in this. So you cannot change, especially in terms of products like cement and other admixtures which are coming. They need to be consistent. Even though it is a little bit expensive, please go with it rather than suffering by going with a material that may not be consistent enough. Now, what is that you have to do? You have to adopt for these conditions. Please remember, all the students here, my request to the teachers and faculties here, please ensure that from the 7th semester or even 6th semester itself, start imbibing into them. Their professional life is not individual 90% plus marks. It is about teamwork. Until I work with a team, I cannot. Here in the college, in the educational system, unfortunately, we are brought up with the culture right from the lower kindergarten or even in the baby nursery also. I have seen mothers say, that neighbor's girl has got so much of marks, you have not. So this is not the way. But here you have got a different approach. You have got the technical thing, you have got the advances, you have got the knowledge, but you have to be strong enough in your communication. You have to change your approach to life and understand that there would be a boss for you, there will be a co-worker for you, there will be a reportee for you. That is, reportee means a person who is working below in the hierarchy, and there will be somebody who supplies material for you. There will be a person who will be your client, that is for whom you are delivering the product you are making. These people should all have to be handled as a teamwork. And if you have to handle them, your presentability will become very important. So to support the industry, I think we will have to give this approach. And please remember, especially my dear students, your final year project work in the undergraduate level is always done in groups. Keeping this in mind, so that you understand to work in, you get an experience to work as a team. Don't think of your 95%, I have to score above her, I have to score above him. No, in the field, this is because in many cases, as a professional, I am telling you, I have worked as an individual consultant where I have employed people, I have hired people on contract. Now I am with the corporate, I am a part of hiring agencies, I am a part of people who are working as a team. I always see that in the first 3 years of life, why three, up to 7 years of life in professional industry, they feel that I should score above him. In that process, they will let the entire team down. And when the final appraisal of the year comes, my team has failed. When my team has failed, I will not get the credits and I will not get the increments that I am expecting to be got. I might have scored 100 out of 100, but I have made other people not to score 100 or not to score 90. So my average score of the team went down. So my increments and my variable pay will depend upon this. So this is something. And to sum it up, one, technology, these are things that you have to look out for. If you have to develop some applications, if you have to develop some training programs, if you have to develop extra university syllabus activity within your institutions, please look at having hands-on training. One of the institutions I have seen that they have sacrificed the car parking space for the staff. That is where every undergraduate student builds a wall as a team. Every undergraduate student will plaster that wall and dismantle it. I have seen this practically happening. I will not mention the institution because I don't want to bring in any competition, but this can happen at every institution level. Then mandatory training for labor is what you have to look out for. And you as an educational institution can be a wonderful part of this. You can involve with the local consultants, with the local engineers and architects association during the vacation. Involve your faculty also into this and conduct training programs for their labor, maybe in your institution, maybe at their site, so that your teachers will also get exposed to what is practical life. And then technology usage, adopting it for the labor. And please don't think that labor force are illiterate today. In my own house construction 4 5 years ago or 6 years ago, when there was an error in the center line marking, my mason sent a WhatsApp message to me and said, sir, check your WhatsApp. I was not so familiar with WhatsApp, thinking that it is another social hub which will eat into my space. And then I realized what WhatsApp is. He sent me a WhatsApp message and told long photograph, long distance, short distance, and exactly showing the measurement, how much the error is. I could easily communicate with him orally and get the whole thing modified. So that is how it get. And mobile based information is something that will be appreciated by everyone. And students, the faculty members who are still enthusiastic about coding can work with your interdepartment skills and try to bring in some mobile applications. First of all, maybe an imaginary project of a construction of a classroom or a construction of a HOD's room with an attached toilet, because I always use the attached toilet because there would be a lot of items that will be involved, so that you will have your basic core in a very big way. So support to the industry is something that you have to look at. And I would like to warn students now that again, this is my favorite, and these are photographs taken by me in the wild. Don't think any of these crocodiles are in the zoo or pond. these are crocodiles which are real life uh, things, and it is very, very wild out there. Because when you walk out of the institution, your employer, they looking at you to deliver from day one, because various constraints that the institutions has and the rigid system of syllabus based education, you are not being able to teach everything that is required. We have to get negotiated in a very smart way. And I do not know how many of you can recognize this is the smartest guy that you can think of. Tortoise is the first animal on the food chain of the crocodile, because it is a slow moving animal. And what you see here is this fellow is riding on a crocodile. And you might be surprised. I was watching these characters moving around the marsh for nearly 2.5 hours. People looked at me like, what is this fellow doing here? And 2.5 hours, this turtle took a jolly ride on the crocodile. That's how things are there. But very smartness is also there. Again, this is an inter department or inter stream thing. This you see here, up here, is an urinal. As you stand there and pee, the wall changes color. Like what you see there, it's nothing but electronic lighting system that is embedded there. It changes color. It is a trigger that triggers the thing. Now it looks like funny. Why? And I'm not joking. This is a patented technology. It is a patented technology. So what is the application of this? For fun, I am showing this photo. But actually what can happen? Think of a visually impaired person going into a toilet. Even for him or her, there is an embarrassment. They can ask assistance till the door of the toilet. After that, how do I know that the stream is hitting the right place or not? How do I know that I'm not dirtying up the toilet? So this, instead of light, if it can give a sound, if it can give a music, if it can give a audio warning, the person will not need to be worried about. If the direction of the P stream is right, he would get a music. If it is not, he will get a warning to readjust himself. So these kind of sensors are there. And for the betterment of this technology, I will tell you, these days smartphones are there. Many of you who have traveled abroad, you have seen that somewhere around the screens, you suddenly see an advertisement that you have been browsing for a product on the internet. How did it get to know? Please note, all of us are naked in the internet world. My mobile phone, as long as I am connected to internet, it will serve data for all these people, including Google. They know what you are looking for. They know what you are looking for. Now you go inside the toilet, there will be a screen in front of you, which would tell you not only how to use the flush there, but as you start using the toilet, the screen might bring out advertisements of the products that you intend to buy or intend to or looking out to buy for. So this is modern technology. And then another thing. Now that I told you, a technology as a whole, as a civil engineer, you should make provision for this. As an electrical or a computer science engineer or an electronics engineer, they will give you the gadgets. Now together you have to sit and put the construction methodology in place. And these things will happen not in the laboratory. I have seen many people coming with pervious concrete. What did you do? We casted cubes, sir. We checked the strength. And what is the purpose of pervious concrete? Sir, water permeability, water recharging, and this blah, blah, blah. But what is next? When I put the pervious concrete on ground, water is going inside, the soil below gets soaked. My basic soil engineering sense, not the technology, sense will tell me that moist, water saturated soil is soft and its SBC is far, far lower than the natural dry soil. So the entire system of pervious concrete is likely to break. Strength is not the criteria, but pervious concrete is a system. Unfortunately, everyone, including some of the manufacturers of pervious concrete, are selling this as a material. Now, what you see here is what is called as the pavement production of electricity by road or by pan. These are electrical systems that are being implemented, at least experimentally, in many places. As you walk in the corridor, your foot energy will generate some electrical pulses that will be stored in the battery, and this can be utilized for lighting during the night. And this can also be triggered in your hostel building. Instead of having the corridor lights on forever, yeah, putting a sensor based bulb is different, but that needs external power. Instead of you wait for a person to walk on it, the moment he walks on it, it will trigger the switch. It will also produce electricity, and the lighting can be there. For how much of light you need to walk in the corridor? So these kind of technologies are there. So that is what it is. You can send feedback on the lecture. That is how you can be in touch with me. Typically my email ID would be like nagesh@nageshp.com. That's very simple. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. Questions, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a wonderful session. Dear participants, feedback link will be posted in the chat box at the end of the question and answer session. The question and answer session will be conducted by Ms. Pranamya K.
Hello, sir. Thank
Hello,
you for the wonderful session. So there are a few questions here posted by our fellow attendees. So what is the scope of bacterial concrete in the future?
First of all, again, this bacterial concrete, somehow just to get a final year project completed, it has become one more pervious concrete. The bacterial concrete is a repair material. It is not a virgin material. It is not a material that you need to be, when you can do your concrete to the best these days. Why do you want repair system to be embedded in all concrete? So number one. Number two, in case some structures like museums, in some structures like House of Parliament, something like that, there is an application. Are you looking at, or is your mind telling you that it could be a product that could be used by everyone? No. I will tell you, durable concrete is still a myth in construction today. Still a myth in construction today. So bacterial concrete is basically a repair material, or a material that can be used in some structures that are known to take certain kind of loads, like vibration loads, unknown this thing, where you would reactivate to fill up the crack system, but you have enough and more systems that is available. Is this technology not required for world? It is required, but you have to know its limit. Don't take every product that comes as a solution or as the replacement of ordinary concrete.
Okay, sir. The next question is, any information on self-healing concrete?
Self-healing concrete and bacterial concrete are interrelated. Few people who want to give a different title call it self-healing concrete. Few people who use this, but the medium of healing of cracks, most of these things will not regenerate the entire concrete. Please note, whether it is bacterial concrete or self-healing. So there are two methods of doing self-healing concrete. That is, one is by bacterial impregnation, and two is having some reserve material within the concrete matrix that is that could reactivate itself in case of cracks coming in, and the cracks should be good enough to allow moisture to get in.
Okay. Next question is, sir, in trench filling, how will the soil gain same CPR or SPC level as surrounding soil?
See, this is basically concrete mix. Instead of using only, I think just before I started those series of concretes, I said we have to change thought process. Now, the concrete that is made there has got, instead of coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, cement and cementitious plus admixture, it has got soil of different gradation and a little bit of sand if required to ensure that it is flowable. There is the amount of cementitious content. Cement is only about 8% of the mass of concrete produced. Is either fly ash or slag. So it binds itself as concrete, and this is nothing but concrete. So it will gain strength. It will gain strength, and strength is something that when it comes to soil, you measure that as SBC or CBR. CBR is normally the value looked at when you are doing pavement. SBC is looked at when you are doing foundation. However, trench filling, we are not recommending it below the foundation as a structural material. It can be used, trench filling is used in black cotton soil as a stabilizing material. When you have a tendency of black cotton soil allowing the rotation of foundation because of the saturation, you can use this as a mass to hold the foundation in place. That's all.
Sir, what is the maximum compressive strength of concrete achieved in practical in India?
In India, we are doing 100 MPa quite normally, but 70 MPa concrete is being used almost everywhere, including Bangalore.
Okay. So, next question. What is the durability of RCC houses which were done for police quarters?
Just as much as your regular construction, they will sustain for up to 100 years, and somebody wants to break it down.
Okay. Next.
One thing I would like to add here, just because I did for a government housing project, nowhere the quality has been taken away. It is only the construction practice or construction technology of a huge building, construction, that has been scaled down in terms of planning, in terms of size to make these houses. That's all. It can withstand earthquakes up to 7 Richter scale. Not everybody is designed for that. Wherever the earthquake comes, because it's a monolithic building, you can design it for several forces.
Okay. So next question. Heat of hydration in mass concrete is still a problem. How can we able to tackle this problem smartly in terms of smart construction?
Unless there would be a cement that is not exothermic in reaction, it may not be possible. But the only thing is, I have to look at the system that can look at it, because we have been able to do, Professor M.S. Shetty and myself, we were able to do concrete in Mumbai for a mass foundation, raft foundation, 2.5 meters deep, the temperature of the concrete being controlled at about 32 degrees. We use a lot of methods to cool down the aggregate, use ice instead of the water, slowly allow the whole system to work, and also ensure that we have more of material like cement, which is being replaced by material like slag or fly ash, which would consume the heat of hydration to reactivate itself and behave like cement. So there is a lot of combination that you have to work, and it will not be a one-point solution. Now, you want a temperature-controlled concrete in Mumbai, the way you approach the problem is different when you do it in Delhi or when you do it in Bangalore.
Sir, is there a permanent concrete canvas shelter?
Once the concrete canvas shelter is made, if the soil below does not give away, this is a permanent structure. In fact, many of these tents that were made in the Gulf War I and Gulf War II are being used as military bunkers even today.
Is flexible or bendable concrete used in India?
No, right now the patent for doing even the research on this material is with two universities in America. You can browse for them. One is called Ductal, and there is one more institution which has developed on its own. So right now, nobody is using it as a product. Maybe some defense projects, they might be using it abroad, but not in India.
Okay. What is the future of AAC block? Will it grow or will it become like RMC industry, low margin industry?
See, what do you look at it? See, the problem is how do we look at it as engineers? This is something that spoiled RMC business. When somebody said, I will give you concrete at 300 rupees less, I went to him. We did not check what is the quality control. Today, nearly 40% or even more than 40% of people who are manufacturing or the people who are investing in the RMC industries are not at all engineers, and they may not even have the right kind of engineers in their master role. They are producing concrete. They put aggregate, cement, admixture, and with some fixed formula. Because as a cement manufacturer, I will assist him making mix design. The chemical manufacturer will come, but the quality control and quality consistency comes from that person, not the design mix. So because of which this went down and down. If somebody said I 4,000 rupees a cubic meter, I said okay. Somebody said 3,700. I went to him. Somebody said 3,500. Even as an engineer in charge of the site, I did not think, how can you do this? Let me take my pencil and do it. So he allowed this industry. Similar kind of industry, what has happened is the brick industry, that is concrete block industry. You will get concrete blocks at about 7 rupees per piece. The same dimension concrete block is sold at 18 rupees per piece. Where will you buy? Normal tendency 7 rupees. We will not even know that fellow what has he used. So that is how we allowed the industry to deteriorate, because of which it became a low margin industry. And everybody thought that because the problem comes after several years, no, couple of years, couple of rainfalls. So by that time I can escape the responsibility. Unfortunately, in India, engineering profession is not a constitutionally recognized profession. We are an scapegoats of adjustment. We get a degree, we are called engineers, but we are not constitutionally responsible. For a mistake that I do professionally, I cannot be prosecuted for professional negligence. I can only be tried for cheating. So these are there. But one advantage with AAC block is it's a very high-end technology to manufacture this. So not any small players can get inside. And it is also a product that is driven by the availability of raw materials. Anybody anywhere cannot put up the AAC blocks. Probably Mangalore can put up one, because there is a PowerPoint, there is fly ash available there. But yes, it is so high end that after investing so much, you will not risk losing your name.
Okay, next question, sir. How much load a pervious concrete can resist? I mean, how much maximum strength we can achieve through pervious concrete construction, and how much economical it is compared to that of conventional concrete?
Please don't compare an orange with an apple. Pervious concrete is a different material. Ordinary concrete is a different material. The application of pervious concrete is for a different purpose. It is for allowing water to go inside rather than go into the drain. And I told you while talking about pervious concrete also, pervious concrete is not just a material, it is a system. You should have a pervious concrete layer. Normally, it cannot be used for building walls. It cannot be used for building slabs. No. When water can pass through, how do you build buildings out of it? No. It is only the payment. Can I build it in a highway? No, it cannot be built it in a highway. You have to build it in your car parking lot. You have to prepare it as a system. There should be a load bearing layer. There should be a layer of pervious concrete which allows only water to go inside, and this water should be transported and collected elsewhere. If you want, this pervious concrete system is itself a 2.5 hour lecture. Don't compare, please don't compare one concrete with other. One concrete is not a total replacement of a conventional concrete. Concretes have different applications. The concrete that I showed at the end, the wash basins and the countertops, they cost you 2.5 lakh rupees to 2 lakh rupees per cubic meter. What do you do with that when you want to put a house out of it? No, these concretes have a specialized application. Can you compare the comfort of one car with another car? No. Can you compare the power of one engine with the other? Each engine is a different. Like that.
Okay. So next question. Can you please throw some light on mortars or plaster without cement, but based on geopolymer?
I am not an expert on geopolymer. Please note, geopolymer is a wonderful material that is being developed and that is still in an infant stage. And there are several ifs and buts. I know it is not so easy to make that material into a large construction application. You might be right now, as far as I know, again, I repeat, there might be something that is beyond my scope, but they are all limited to laboratory studies or trials done on small buildings. How industrially and generally it is applicable, I'm not totally aware of.
So next question, what is the best way to find out the maturity of concrete in situ? If we find that concrete has achieved the strength earlier, can we de-shatter earlier than the code requirement? And what is accuracy level of maturity meter in giving the strength of the concrete in NDT test?
Well, there are the NDT test itself and the age-old method of crushing a cube made at that particular pore and checking which the cube has achieved something. Assume that 80% of that load would have been achieved at site and take the decision. 2, the maturity meters are people who just sense what is going on inside. The sensors detect some values. That values have to be interpreted. The interpretation, I told you then, you have to give a lot of data of similar condition into that, and you will have to have a database there. Based on the database, like interpolation of graphs, you will get a value. And the material data today is so good, and all the people who supply you maturity meters will always ask you to feed in your own data, at least so many number of cycles. Then only the maturity meter works. So you can say that about 80% of the values are fairly good enough, provided the data you give is right.
Sir, what are the materials used in the flexible concrete which you have showed at the end to make that countertops? What are the different materials used to make that concrete?
Some of them are trade secret, but the ornamental concrete is the order of the day. It is basically cement and refined aggregates. I'll put a word here, refined aggregates, and a variety of chemicals and secondary cementitious material. Variety of chemicals and secondary cementitious material. The chemicals that go into making of a wash basin will be totally different from the material that goes into making of a countertop or making of a wall panel.
Sir, lots of questions are pouring in. So all the participants that we will post the question to the speaker because it's already 11:35. So sir, we will post all the questions from the attendees to your mail ID.
Yeah, I'll try to answer them as early as possible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we have with us the beloved HOD, Dr. Yajneshwaran B, who is a major driving force in the conducting such a splendid event. I request sir to speak a few words on this event.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good morning to all. First of all, I express my gratitude for acceptance and sharing, sir, your experience to our participants, sir. And you answered very nicely, and it is very useful for our participants. As your presentation thrown light on different valuable ingredients of construction technology. So it starts from construction mantra, importance of softwares, importance of innovative materials, and fibrous concrete, concrete canvas shelters, and it goes on modern concrete technology. It's very nice, sir, and very thank you, sir, very much for sharing your experience and your micro level invention, maybe your thinking and your all efforts you put. It's a very nice for our students, all participants. All, I think you all are enjoyed this session, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. I can sign off now.
One minute, sir.
Yeah.
E-certificate will be issued to the participants who submit the feedback form in 2 to 3 working days. Recorded video of this session will be shared in our college SJEC YouTube channel within 4 to 5 working days. I thank you, Mr. Nagesh Puttaswamy, for your effective and valuable added sessions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
I thank Mr. Ragesh Raghu for his cooperation to flawless conduction of this webinar. I thank our beloved HOD for his support and encouragement. I thank our management for giving this wonderful opportunity to conduct this webinar. Last but not the least, I thank all the participants for making this webinar a very successful one. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.